Oh man, I'm doing good. I'm just happy that the Cowboys not in the media cycle this week. Especially after you see how the Seahawks is getting one step closer to a Super Bowl. Lies. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
So you had a change of heart?
Man, I had the funniest thing happen before the show even started. You know that part that I come on and say you fell asleep when Pat Riley. Just know baby girl repeated it right after that. She knows in her heart by now. That's how much time she hears it. But guess what? Pat Riley, I have to address you today.
Ooh.
I got some things I need to talk to you about because I already talked about Eric Poster just a couple days ago. So I got some words for you today. And Joe, your top 5 list, can't wait to see it. Also, it's Tuesday, y'all.
Okay.
It's time to enjoy it. We just had our last show on Friday. I had my show on Saturday at 12 noon with my guy J-Mo that came on. He made his Dave's Dog debut on Saturday. And, he had some words for Daryl Morey in that 76ers front office. Yeah. So I'm just saying. But we here to have fun today. So let's turn up, fellas. Turn me up, 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 up.
Do your thing, Jody.
Okay. Listen, y'all. Listen. We are streaming
difficulties, Jody.
That was a news reporter delay. All right, look. We are streaming this on 3 different platforms. We are streaming this on Facebook, YouTube, and X. So make sure y'all like the video on whatever platform you're watching this on. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can follow us at Refuse to Lose Sports. You can see it right under Dave. Or not, I always say this, but including X, you got to change the name because too many characters. At R2L Sports on X. So make sure y'all do that and share this video with somebody so they can come on and watch this show live with you, because you can be involved in the show by being in the comment section. Put that first comment up, Dave. Shout out to Salt and Pepper. We ain't talking about the singers, all right? Fire Pat. That's what he said, Fire Pat.
This is actually, I found out who it is. It's one of my guys that are in Heat Nation chat. So appreciate you, Heat Nation, for tuning in.
Okay, I like the eggs with the salt and pepper, by the way. And T Merck, Teddy, baseball season, it kind of started today. Shout out to y'all, right? Spring training still going on. Waiting for my next day. We're gonna play. I just realized we play y'all 3 times. That's it every year. That's crazy.
Yeah,
we don't play y'all here this year. We play y'all in DC, not here. I'm like, dang, I gotta go back home and watch y'all.
I know. I actually want to go to the game too, so I'll probably have to go back home.
All 3 of us. What's up?
Let's make it happen.
Let's get it. All right, let's get it on Teddy. Now, Teddy, what up, my guy? Shout out to Teddy in the comments. But look, y'all sit back and relax. Enjoy the rest. Hey, let's make the trip. Enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours, man.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the only thing Teddy can buy up here is hats. You know what I'm saying, Joe?
Hello. All right, get it right here, dang.
I'm just saying. But I thought we should have switched this one around. I know I should have brought this one up because I know this one gonna be a hot topic, man. Because they say you can have a prolific offense, but they say defense wins championships. And this team here, they don't spend all their money on offense. So you got defense wins. I guess they just win conversations in Cincinnati because at this point, Joe, I told you last week you asked who was the biggest losers in free agency, and I said the Bengals, more so because they didn't sign their wide receiver. And then they put one on the franchise tag. They say, you know what, we're going to do? We're going to one-up you. We're going to sign both our wide receivers for them boys got the bag. Ja'Marr Chase agreed upon 4 years, $161 million. Tee Higgins, fresh off the franchise tag, said, I'm going to take 4 years, $115 million. That's 44% of their salary cap. I don't know what type of Madden they've been playing, but I'm not doing that. Unless they turn the salary cap off in Cincinnati. They're doing something that we don't know about. But you got to think about it like this. The Cincinnati Bengals now have 3 offensive players. One averaging 55, one averaging 40.2, which makes him the highest paid athlete in the NFL. We're not even gonna say player, athlete, because 40.2 is insane. What they doing up there in Cincinnati? What's up in Ohio? They get all this money. They're moving a lot of potatoes up there. Then you got 28.7. Fellas, from we don't know to what is going on to where the money resides. I don't know. What was your reaction when you heard this news about the Bengals signing?
I know we got a Miami Heat subject coming up, but I kind of want to start this off, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Make it happen.
So the Bengals actually have over 120 million guaranteed per year going towards Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, and Tee Higgins all together. It's great. They got their guys together. Tee Higgins got his money. So happy for you. Ja'Marr Chase is the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history. Happy for you as well. But what's the direction the Bengals are going in? That's kind of what I want to know. Trey Henderson is supposed to be on the trade block, but they're talking about he may be getting a contract pretty soon. If he gets his contract, then I don't know what they're going to do for the rest of the team. They don't have a lot of draft picks. I mean, it's not like they have a top 10 draft pick right now to really get anyone that's going to make a difference this season. I mean, although we don't know. And they didn't really sign anyone in the offseason that can really help out where they had a lot of big issues at. These are the people that they signed in the offseason. Oren Burks, he was just with the Philadelphia Eagles just this past season, won a Super Bowl with them. So, they got a Super Bowl champion on the team now. Samaje Perine, TJ Slayton, BJ Hill, Marco Wilson, Cam Sample, and Joseph Asai. Most of these guys, they just re-signed. So you re-signed some guys that were already a part of a bad defense last year. The only new addition you made was really Oren Burks. And he wasn't the starter to begin the season. He played some meaningful minutes, but he's not the starter. Joe Burrow, I know that you made some comments to make sure that your guys got paid, and I know you're happy that your guys are there, but the Bengals only have $28.3 million of cap space left right now. What are they going to do with the rest of that money? What are you guys expecting to do next season? Is the offensive line going to dramatically get better? I don't think so. Is the defense going to get better? I don't know, because you could put up a lot of points, and we saw that last year. The offense could score, but you couldn't stop anybody. So what's the direction the Bengals are going? It's almost the same question we could have for the Seahawks. We don't know what's going to happen with the Seahawks because of, Sam Darnold being there. We know Joe Burrow is considered a top 5 quarterback, but we always got to say, what have you done for me lately? So Joe Burrow hasn't been in the playoffs the last 2 seasons. I know there's been some injuries there, but Joe, you said it yourself last year. If they won that game against the Patriots week 1, they should be in the playoffs. So he got to get some accountability for that. Cincinnati, what's the direction? What you gonna do? Do you have some offensive linemen out there that you see that you're gonna sign in free agency? I think all the investments are gone. Do you have enough draft capital to try to trade for somebody? I don't know. I don't see that happening right now in Cincinnati, not from the reports I've seen. So I just want to know what direction Cincinnati is going to go in, because you got all this money. Joe Burrow is averaging $55 million per year. $46 million this year, $48 million next year, then 52, then 53 to 57. It's going to continue to go up. And I know the salary cap is going to go up, so it's going to be cheaper after a while. But right now, you're in cap casualty kind of sort of. Now, you're not in position in some other teams that are maybe only have like 5 or 10 million left. You still got about $28.4, $28.3 million in cap space left. So you can use that with Trey Hendrickson, I guess, or trade him. He's an $18.7 million cap hit. So if you trade him, then you have enough money to actually do something. So I get it. But if you give him the contract, from what I've been seeing, that you're actually going to give him a contract that he wants, then what's next? Because I think now, looking back at what Joe said a while ago about trading Trey Hendrickson, makes a lot more sense now, because you're going to need that money.
I'll tell you the direction they're going in.
Donations.
That's what they're going to need at this point. They're going to need all types of donations. They're going to need draft donations. They're going to need some contributions from the state. They're going to need everything, because at this point, the only people that can help out with this cap situation is Doge. And I'll let you all do the work on that one. But these big 3, right? You sign the big 3. And I think about how the Bengals start all their seasons. It's probably 0-2. They always start off to these slow starts where it's like the month of September just always does them dirty, and then they got to find a way to fight back. So as you're sitting there with the front office, you like, well, we always got to find our way fighting back in October to try to make it to the playoffs. So the first thing I want to do is go give Tee Higgins 28 per year. Now, of course, you want to give your number one wide receiver that, but then you got to look at the outsourcing of your team because, like Dave said, over 120 mil is just allocated to 3 players. There's almost like 60-something players on the team. So what the practice squad players gonna go up there? I tell you like this: if the Bengals do need somebody to come in and help them, like act like they're gonna be a cornerback, because I could be Eli Apple out there. I can go out there and act like I'm about to do some things, but I ain't gonna say too much, man. Because if I'll take the 25 signing bonus, because I'm definitely gonna need about 400,000, $500,000. I can do something for y'all because that's all y'all can afford anyway. Because these are the type of players y'all gonna have to get. Because in the division that you in, I know people want to rag on the Steelers. They don't have a quarterback right now, but at the end of the day, the Steelers situation probably is almost looking a little bit better. They want to talk about the Ravens. The Ravens situation definitely looks better. What do you want to say about the Bengals? We already know what the Bengals are. They Joe Burrow and the crew. Now you got your big 3, and now you got your leading sack rusher out there looking like, how much y'all gonna pay me? Because there's no way in the world. I don't know how they're going to structure that contract, but there's no way in the world they can make him one of the highest paid, seeing the ballpark figures that all the other players have gotten that were pass rushers. I don't know how they're going to do it. And I know they can't get a lot of draft capital back because other teams are watching this saying, well, you just paid them. I know how much the cap is. So if you're trying to ask for too much, what you going to do with this guy? What you going to do with him? Because you got to get rid of him. You can't sign him. Now, they could restructure a contract here and there, maybe make some things shake. But again, I'm happy them boys got their money because they was playing around with them for far too long. I'm glad they did break the bank on them because this is what happened when you play around. Jerry, stop playing. But this is what happened when you play around. Joe Burrow, it's on you now. You asked. Now it's time for you to actually receive. Not you, Tee Higgins and Chase. You know what y'all do.
Hey, man, listen. We had this convo before. And I'm a little confused by y'all too, because y'all were the same ones that was killing the Bengals for not signing Tee Higgins and Ja'Marr Chase. Y'all remember that?
I remember.
And now y'all confused by the direction? Listen, man.
I told you the direction.
Tell them, bring me my money. That's what happened. All right. So look, remember the last time we talked about this? What did I say? I said they're gonna sign Tee Higgins. Didn't I say that? I said signs are pointing to they're going to sign Tee Higgins. Why did I say that? Because last year, negotiations were terrible. Franchise tag was bad. What Tee Higgins do this year? He fired his agent. His agent is a guy who he only had one former Bengal to extend his contract. That was Jesse Bates. That's it. Nobody else. Like he never got a good contract with the Bengals organization outside of that. So he fired him and went and got the same agent as Ja'Marr Chase. He said, you know what? I know you better get paid, all that stuff. The Bengals guaranteed Ja'Marr Chase that he will be the highest paid non-QB. So he did that. And I said a franchise tag don't really mean they're not going to pay him. It's just stalling more time for negotiations. And then everybody said, what about Trey Hendrickson? Dave mentioned it. I said that, he's 30 years old. I get it. The man I compared to KD. KD cooking. KD, we could argue he playing some of the best basketball of his career. He cooking.
Not the cap.
Yeah, but the Suns suck. So
but the Suns, the impact ain't there. I get it. KD, he averaging this and that, shooting this and that, but the Suns looking outside of playing. Trey Hendrickson, defensive player of the year. You sure about that? If I didn't know the numbers existed, I would never knew he existed because the defense is so terrible. So my thing is his impact, although he led the league in sacks, the defense was the reason why they didn't make the playoffs. The offense was all world, and the defense let them down. So you can afford to let go Trey. Why pay him when you had him last year and he had his best year? And that was Joe Burrow's worst defense he ever played with in his career. So get rid of him and get more draft capital. Right now, they got 6 draft picks. They got draft picks from 1 through 6. If you trade Trey Henderson, you can get a late second or early third. They asked him for a first. I don't think nobody's gonna give him a first. but a late second or early third, or maybe an early second. But you get a second or third, and you can use that. Your offense set. Use that draft to build around build a defense. Even if they are a young defense, they can grow from this year to next year. Because you got Joe Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase, Gesicki, and Tee Higgins under contract. All right. So that's that. Now, what I don't understand, y'all, is this. The Bengals, Tomo called it. They just like the Cowboys. Pay the people if you know, Dave, if you know you're going to pay these guys, pay them. If you said Ja'Marr Chase is going to be the highest paid non-QB, who's making the most money right now? I'm going to give you $1 million more than that. Last year, Nick Bosa was the highest paid non-QB at $34 million a year. 35. Boom. Oh, no, you want to wait. So then what happened this year? Dude for the Raiders, Max Crosby gets paid. It goes up to $37 million. So he's like, okay, now I got to pay $37 million. No, I'm going to wait. And then Myles Garrett. And now you got to give him 41. If you would have just paid him last year, it would have been cheaper. Same thing with Tee Higgins. Higgins get paid $29 million. It's crazy. So that's my issue with that. But I'm cool with it. As long as they do the draft right, they should be straight. What they're doing right now is making their QB happy. Joe Burrow asked for this. You got to make him happy. Now all the pressure is on him. Now nobody can blame the Bengals no more. Oh, they don't pay nobody. No, they pay all Joe Burrow guys. Joe Burrow, all the pressure is on you. Because last time I checked, I don't know if y'all noticed that, y'all. Joe Burrow had a good year last year, right?
Statistically.
Some say he should have won MVP.
Listen to this stat, y'all. Listen to this stat, y'all. Listen to this stat. I'm going to say this on Unfade because AJ want to talk about Joe Burrow's pressure, right? In the first 3 quarters all last year, David Tombo, Joe Burrow threw 30 touchdowns and only had 6 turnovers. In the 4th quarter, 12 touchdowns, 8 turnovers.
Don't sound like clutch to me.
Come on, man. It's not just a Patriots game. I remember the Lamar Jackson game against Lamar Jackson. Lamar hit an all-world pass. Joe Burrow threw an interception in the game. I remember that. I remember the Chiefs game. Everybody banned pass interference. Joe Burrow fumbled at the end of the 4th quarter. So, Joe Burrow, all the pressure on you, my guy. Shout out to Dave. Who's my guy?
Yeah, you're right. All the pressure is on Joe Burrow. You asked for this.
He did.
You asked for this. You asked for this.
And Dave, shout out to you, Tomo. You mentioned Eli Apple. I went back and watched our old video about who better between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. And you was like, they got Eli Apple on the other side. Anyways, he was killing Eli Apple. But I crushed Joe Burrow. I said, yo, Joe Burrow, you got the Super Bowl because of the defense. It wasn't because Joe Burrow. And then I kept saying Josh Allen better. And then y'all was like, Stephon Diggs. He got Stephon Diggs. I'm like, okay. He got 3 number 1 receivers, Ja'Marr Chase, Tee Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. Do y'all know without those I got another stuff for y'all. Last one, then we can move on. Do y'all know this? It's crazy. I found this out today. I had to do my research. Look at this, y'all. Joe Burrow with Ja'Marr Chase and Tee Higgins. 73% completion percentage, 78 QBR. Without Tee Higgins and Ja'Marr Chase, 67 completion percentage, 68 QBR, which would be 32nd in the NFL. Crazy.
So you think people rush better than him?
So how was a quarterback without his weapons?
How is Joe Burrow without his weapons?
Nah. Don't kill the moment. Don't kill the
No.
He ain't listening.
He ain't listening.
I am listening.
Say it one more time for me.
What is the quarterback without his weapons?
No, say weapons. Because
weapons. I said weapons.
You said what the next?
I got one.
I said weapons.
Did you say my guy got one?
Let's move on.
He said my guy got one.
Let me move on. Let's move on. No, Purdy ain't the only quarterback that's in that situation, Teddy.
Oh, you talking about Purdy? Oh,
Purdy ain't the only one in that situation. He ain't the only one.
I got one.
But Purdy actually played pretty okay. That defense was trash too. But Purdy also turned the ball over down the stretch too. Though.
He did. But the thing is, he didn't have his weapons, right?
Yeah, Ja'Marr Chase was a triple crown winner. Like,
thank you.
I mean, he was. I mean, the Patriots game, Tee Higgins and play. What happened? They lost.
There you go.
I just wanted to address one thing, Joe. We wanted him to get paid because the Bengals is trash. We didn't want the Bengals to go out there and give up half their salary cap to pay these guys. So that's insane. That's insane.
Facts. And look, Ty, we this whole network been
Big
saying,
facts.
We all been
Big
on
facts.
Lamar's side by saying
Big
Lamar
facts.
ain't got the weapons Joe Burrow got. That's been a running thing since R2 started.
Put Tee Higgins and Ja'Marr Chase on the Ravens offense and see what they do. Oh my gosh.
Now I'm not
Lamar
saying
only
Joe Burrow
good because he got them. That's what they're gonna say. He
I'm
only
not saying
good because
Joe-
he got them.
But look, remember Joe Burrow got hurt and the backup came in cooking too. He was playing pretty good too.
Yeah.
He not. I'm not trying to kill Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow, a lot of pressure on you, bro, because you was like, you gotta pay these guys. You gotta pay even Gesicki. He was like, gotta keep him.
Nah, I think that's why the franchise did it. They said, you know what? We just gonna dump all the money. You asked for him, go win.
I would do the same thing.
They pulling the Jerry Jones, but opposite. He's like, oh, you think you could do it? All right, we're gonna take all your weapons away and then you go do it.
Yeah,
they said, no, we're gonna give you your weapons and then we'll do it. Your guy got one, my guy got one.